Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dusted on Gaming here. A little bit of some quick standard queue action. The deck we're going to be firing up today is Black-White Vehicles, a deck that's starting to pop up with the release of Dominaria. This is kind of the spiritual successor to Mardu Vehicles with a much heavier artifact subtone because you're trying to jam Karn into a deck. Primarily, this is a mono-white deck splashing Scrap Heap Scrounger in the main deck, and then some Duresses and Fatal Pushes in the sideboard. This particular list was by Gracias Bortanto in the recent Magic Online PPTQ. This user went 7-1 with this particular list, so hopefully we'll be able to give it a good spin. You have most of your double dual lands here. You're running good deal of one drops. You're running Toolcloth Exemplar, Dauntless Bodyguard, which allows you to protect other creatures. Otherwise, it's just a 2/1. Legion's Landing can serve as both ramp and obviously a source of constant threats. Personally, and from FNM, I know how vicious this card can be against control decks. So you're only running 22 lands, so these serving as effectively lands 23 through 26 in a lot of cases are particularly important for sideboard cards such as Lyra Dawnbringer, because that's a 5 casting cost. We'll get to that in a bit. The rest of the main deck got Servo Expedition to get more and Shram's Expertise to get multiple creatures out in play that are noticeably all artifacts. Heart of Kirin and Aethersphere Harvester as your vehicles of choice. Scrap Heap Scrounger, continue the aggressive theme going, also recurring. You don't have a ton of creatures in the main deck, so Scrounger isn't always like an automatic bring back, but it is pretty decent against opponents that don't have Settle the Wreckage. History of Benalia, very powerful card. Turn Knights get you get 2 Knights out of the deal, and then on the third turn they get +2/+1. So pretty powerful over 3 turns. Vanillish Marshal, triple white is a restricted mana cost. However, it does give all your creatures an Anthem effect. And then you have Gideon of the Trials and Karn as kind of your non-creature threats besides vehicles. Heart of Kirin notably can protect both of them through their loyalty counters. And then Shram's Expertise also allows you to potentially play multiple spells in the turn, like you can go Shram's Expertise into Vanillish Marshal, Shram's Expertise into like History of Benalia, just really start pushing out the advantage. One notable thing about the black-white build over the traditional Mardu is you're lacking things like Chandra Torch of Defiance to give you card advantage outside of Karn. Karn is fine. I mean, you're going to see 2 cards a turn. Usually it's at your opponent's discretion. And obviously you can -1 to get one of the cards you want back. So Karn kind of sort of fills the role of Chandra. And instead of pinging creatures, sometimes you'll end up with an enormously large construct token, because you could have like an Aethersphere Harvester, a Heart of Kirin, a couple of various servos lying around. You could easily have a 4/4 or a 5/5 running around whenever you drop Karn. To protect Karn itself can be a pretty vicious little package, as I've seen personally playing with and against Affinity. Sideboard Fragmentize for various enchantments and artifacts such as History of Benalia, a bunch of other ones they're seeing play. You might conceivably bring it in against Search for Azcanta, but that's a little narrow. Thopter Arrest when you need removal pretty much against any guaranteed creature or artifact. Settle the Wreckage when you're in creature mirrors. This kind of swings things around in your favor. Lyra Dawnbringer, matchups where you're trying to go a little bit bigger. Matches up well against Glorybringer and a bunch of other cards. Baneslayer Angel is still Baneslayer Angel, even if it's a legendary. Duresses for a bunch of control matchups, Fatal Pushes for smaller creature decks, and Aethersphere Harvester when you're trying to race. So this deck seems like it'd be pretty vicious in a lot of different matchups. A couple Scavenger Grounds for any God Pharaoh's gift decks or control decks still running around. So with that being said, we're going to jump into 1 or 2 2-man queues depending on how long they go. I got about an hour to do this, so the first match goes like 45 minutes. We're only going to be playing 1 match, unfortunately. But wanted to start getting a feel for the environment overall. Okay. So, first time picking up this deck. I have played quite a bit of, well, some amount of Mardu vehicles in the past, so I do have some familiarity of the style of openings you want, but this is a slightly different archetype. First time picking it up, so if I make mistakes, I apologize in advance. And... right, flicking cards. Somebody already complained about that. Alright, so... we're up against the X-King. Alright, sand seems reasonable. We got Legions landing into either Gideon or Aethersphere Harvester. And we are on the draw, which kind of sucks. So, means our hand needs to kind of... mono red. This actually could be a fairly reasonable test matchup. This is a matchup that traditionally caused problems for Mardu. So maybe the mono red version will be a little bit better off. Or mono white version, pretty much. Okay, Legion's Landing, sure. Played a Legion's Landing. Does suck that these are all legendary, but, you know, forcing your opponent to answer this on turn 2. Of course, they could have Earthshaker Kenra or any other various things to answer this. Firebrand, answer it, sure. Karn. Not precisely what we're looking for here, but, you know, it's whatever. Make another dude. See if they have something like a shock here. They do not. Alright, so they're going to curve out nice and easy. Sure. So the question becomes, am I just supposed to get this Harvester out here, or am I supposed to get this Gideon down? I mean, Gideon prevents it from dealing damage, but it still gets to accumulate cards. This could be the wrong play line, but we're going to go for Gideon here. I'm supposed to get Harvester down just to get a way I can tick down Karn and get a Golem here. Yeah. Because we're looking so pretty, opponent, until you went and did that. Okay. Discarded a Braden Mountain to get 4 new cards. Yep. Servo Expedition. So... punished for not playing the Harvester last turn. Sure. Okay. Yep. Hit for 3 here. So, tool crafting exemplar, huh? Exemplar. Run out of Karn. Definitely not attacking. You have a Hazard out here? Sure. I think you would want to attack with your Kenra here. Force your hand. Sure. Alright. See if you have something to prevent me from attacking with a bunch of dudes. You do not. So, trigger. So, awkward moment where can't do both, so we'll just play out this, play out this. Okay, got a real hoot. Are we stabilizing? Shram's expertise, huh? Get some servos, get your servos here. See how our opponent chooses to handle this situation. Okay. If you're hoping to get more out of the Abrade, I guess that's all you're gonna get. I guess if you had a Braid, you wouldn't be chump blocking with Phoenix, you just Abrade the Harvester, period. Sure. Okay, got a firebrand. Sure. Got a phoenix. More. I think we just pass here and hope they don't hit Chain Welder. How do the mono red decks look at this point? Mono red Egg Grill. Yeah, definitely running Chain Wheeler. Guess it depends on what your various forms. So many different options even for mono red at this point. Well, it's deep in the tank. Don't think you have an out here, friend. Okay. That's a Hazoret. Sure. Benelish Marshall. Is that just lethal? So 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 here that can block 5. Yeah, I think that's lethal. Benelish Marshall. So 3, block here, block here. Block, block, block. So you can block 3 of those. Take 12. I believe if I mathed here correctly, you're dead. Yep. Wonder if they're coming to the conclusion that they're dead. Yep. Nope. That's not gonna work. Yep. Guess my math was off. So 4... It's 12 as they block right now. Okay. So you're taking 8. Guess my math was off. Funky. So it's 8, 13, 17 at most. Alright. And the result's the same, even if my math was a little bit off there. Alright, so... Probably want these stop arrests. Probably interested in settle the wreckage. Probably interested in that. Probably interested in these Lyras. And probably interested in Fatal Push. Question becomes, what do we go down? Gideon's not particularly fantastic. It's possible some the Tool Kraus can go? Question mark. Maybe these Scroungers. Alright. Try like that. Definitely the control decks in this style of matchup. Yeah, got a mulligan this one. Can't keep the one lander. Still can't keep a one lander, right? Sure, keep the one lander and pray. Okay, scry one, sure. Use a Firebrand, clear the path for the other Firebrand, right? Alright, I mean... Survey Expedition is not horrible. Do need to draw another land, though. Yeah, this is kind of what I was afraid of here. start deploying their big guys. We're kind of stuck on lands here. Yeah, hopefully we hit a land here. Alright, so we get to adopt or arrest their Phoenix, which is nice. No reason to attack. Sure. Earthshaker Kenra. Okay. Heart of Kiron. So which one am I supposed to run out here? Sure. Take your Chandra. Pass the turn. That Chandra is going to be a bit of a problem here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Don't think this is going to be good enough, but we gotta try, right? That's just gonna ultimate their Chandra and start pinging us, I guess. Don't think we're gonna be able to start racing a Chandra emblem. Yep. Decisions here, opponent. So your opponent draws here, some type of spell. Yeah, Phoenix is an annoying one. To the face. Legion's landing, huh? Don't have quite enough here to force an attack of 3. So, guess we just pass, which kind of sucks. Okay. Guessing this is going to the face. Yep. Sure. Fatal Push, and no black mana. We're just dead there. Okay. Opponent's only got 6 minutes to try to win all these games, though. Does anything change? On the play versus the draw? Probably not. Did mulligan to like 5 there. Sure. Yeah, hand's perfectly reasonable. Shock or something? Nope. Play out Servo Expedition. Master opponent. Okay, get the scry here. It's an interesting one. Card on top. Alright. Sure. Thopter Arrest. Pretty decent one here. Might be a little bit of an aggressive use of this, but we do get to flip Legion's Landing here. Trigger to 16. This turn we get to deploy 2 more spells. Banish Marshal is an interesting one. No reason to give our opponent any information. Just like Lightning Strike or Shock. Guess we could be playing into Chain Whirler if they have it. Oh well. A Breed on Heart of Curon. Yep. Of course they have it, sure. Play that out, so... Okay. Sure. Hazaret, sure. Shram's Expertise, huh? Yeah, seems like a pretty good one here. for some life gain here. Gain some life. Best Glorybringer that we haven't seen all match. Sure. Tick down on your... It's either tick up for mana or tick down on your Banish thing here. Okay. Sure. Okay. Let's take a hit here. Servo Expedition. I think we go ahead and attack Chandra here. Gain some life out of the deal. Knock Chandra to 2. Next turn we guarantee Chandra dies. Okay. Fine with that exchange. Glorybringer. Oh no, not Glorybringer. Alright, Thopter Arrest means that your Chandra dies. Well, to be fair, our opponent would be at 3 at this point if we hadn't done that. No blocks. Man, if we ever draw an untapped land, this game's just over, but guess we don't need one of those, right? Alright. Sure. Alright. Why would you... I was gonna say, unless you're killing a servo, why would you waste the effort here? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, that getting through. Let's go ahead and chump block this turn, just to save a little bit of life. Alright, I think Exemplar means this is lethal this turn. Alright. And you're dead. Okay, still dead. Oh, no, we finally would have drawn the land. So, yeah. Looks like this version of, vehicles might be a little better equipped against red. Though Chain Whirler's still a bit of an issue. I mean, it's definitely a deck worth exploring. So, transformational sideboard that was kind of typical of both the red decks and the vehicle decks coming into play here. Yeah. I mean, Chandra or Karn, obviously pretty impressive. I don't know if it's on quite the same level as Chandra in the old Mardu vehicle decks, but the mana base being a lot more consistent, a lot less pressure on your life total, a lot more capable of playing defense. My only concern would be the control matchups a little bit, because you don't have a huge amount of sources of card advantage. I mean, you've got Karn, History of Benalia, and Gideon, if they resolve, and then you have the Duresses. I almost wonder if some amount of Argyl's Bloodfast wouldn't be reasonable, with a few more black sources, but maybe I'm just supposing too much here, and maybe this configuration is just good enough. So, alright, unfortunately don't have time for another match, because as typical of standard matches, they tend to last a while, but, you know, did get to see black-white versus mono-red, which was a nice, nice take a look. Let's take a look at some of the other, black-white lists. So the list in particular that I was playing was this one, Gradius Spontanto, whatever. 22 lands, this was the exact build we were running. Let's go and take a look at the one that, some of the other ones that did well in the PPTQ. See, this one isn't running Karn at all. Still have the Light Splash for Scrounger and Fatal Pushes and Duresses. Running a very similar sideboard cards. They also have another land in the sideboard in the second Scavenger Grounds. Yeoman. Let's see what they're running. Sky Sovereign, I think, is probably a card we're probably interested somewhere in the 75. Pride of Conquerors. Creatures you control get +1/+1. To get City's Blessing, get +2/+2. I mean, that's fine. 4 History, 4 Legion's Landing. This one's running 24 lands. I don't know what the correct number is. I think you want Heart in the main deck. Doctor Rest Binding. I want some number of binding somewhere. But once again, the splash in this one's just literally for Scrap Heap Scrounger. And then Pinto MTG. Taking a look. This one's running How is this one different? English Marshal, Scrounger, Dauntless Bodyguard. This one is not running Legion's Landing, is how it's making some of the other room. I think Legion's Landing is just too powerful of a card. Lets you kind of cheat on lands. Authority of the Councils may not even be necessary in this deck. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of awesome cards in this deck right now. Wow. Glad I picked up my Lyras when they were 15 in paper before this past weekend. So, deck's pretty sweet. I mean, obviously there is. Let's see what the one that played. The one did team open Atlanta. See what they came up with. Obviously a lot of the same cards. Forsake the Worldly, Doomfall. I think Doomfall is perfectly reasonable. Spire of Industry is 20. This one's running 23 lands. No Legion's Landing. I don't know. Legion's Landing just seems important against the control decks. Seems important against mono red. I don't know. There's quite a few different ways to obviously build this deck. So there's a lot of pretty sweet stuff going on. Excuse me. Sorry for the indigestion here. But a lot of pretty sweet stuff going on. A lot of really awesome cards. I think the Spire of Industries maybe as black sources 9 and 10. You know, you're wanting to board in some black cards like Duress effects or Doomfall effects. Things of that nature. Gives you a little more access to leverage something like Argyl's Bloodfast if you end up needing it in the controlling matchups. That's the one thing I don't know is how the grindy matchups, like how blue-black and all them, when they start to resurge, how they're going to do. Or maybe just the format's gotten too fast for those decks, perhaps? I don't know. I have not played enough Standard yet, but definitely going to be delving in. So, this has been Dusk for Dusk Till Dawn Gaming. Appreciate you tuning in, and hope you enjoy the content. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel.